And welcome back to the final part of the Land of Illusion. With me again is Mr. AUK to finish it all.
Indeed, we are ready to enter the Phantom's Castle stage.
Yep, and the reason I've paused there is because there's a bit of a problem with this first level in the fact that it splits into three paths. Unlike the last one, I'm going to show you all three paths because depending on what you're good at will depend on what you want to actually do, basically going through this level. This first part, in the first door, is essentially a climbing challenge.
And you wouldn't have thought that initially because you'd have thought maybe you could jump onto the window ledges there.
I must admit I just purely forgot. But yes, it's I suppose the instinct with these stages is you're going to get crushed. You don't want to be hanging about, really. But no, you have to cling to the wall.
You almost did get crushed there, though.
Yeah. I actually do this on my first attempt, though, so I'm quite chuffed by that. But yes, this is probably the easiest out of all. Kind of the easiest. If you're okay with wall climbing, this is the easiest. If your jumping skills and reaction abilities are better, then the second challenge is probably better for you, but I would say this is the easiest one. And your reward is cake. But
I thought for a moment the wall was going to keep going,
but yes, what happens if you decide to take the second door?
What's through door number 2? We have, apart from getting hit by a spider,
Shush.
we have
a weird laser platform. Again, that brown gunk will insta-kill you, I believe, so that makes the first... This is the other reason I think the first level is a bit more malevolent, is because it's a bit more forgiving. You can land on the spikes and not die instantly. But yeah, it's just a simple dodging exercise, really. Being Mini Mickey is kind of useful against the fireballs, but you still need to dodge them.
reduced hitbox is in effect.
Yes.
2, 3...
And I almost lose it there.
Ooh.
But we still get through, and there is no reward for that bit, which I think means that was meant to be considered the easiest one, but I still think the other one's easier.
Indeed.
However,
to door number 3.
there's a reason. Door number 3 is by far the hardest, but there is a reason for it, because the reward at the end of it is a bit better. However, it introduces a brand new mechanic of these moving blocks going across these rail lines. Again, if you decide you want to land in the goop, then farewell Mickey Mouse.
And we have Ooh, indeed.
Yep. I believe the pink gunk from the Princess's Castle does exactly the same thing, but...
It appears to be like scalding hot Lucozade or something.
I'm not sure what it is, to be honest.
I'm going to say it's Iron Brew and that it's Turbo's put it there.
Harsh.
It's Turbo's supply of evil iron.
Now, interestingly, one thing you can do, it's a little bit cheeky, but you do have invincibility frames when you get hit by spikes or the fire. And while you're in those invincibility frames, you won't get hurt by that gunk. So you can kind of play that to your advantage, but it is still a bit of a skill job trying to jump between the platforms.
Indeed.
Mickey's controls they're good, but they're not brilliant.
Well, we've said on previous occasions that it's very slippery controls.
The only good thing is it does kick you outside of the doors, so if you don't want to try and do this one, and well, basically if you change your mind, you're not stuck having to do this level or this part of the level constantly. All 3 parts end you up in the same place, which is the next room, obviously. And there's no other branching path parts to it, so it's not terrible, but But your reward at the end of it is the final star of the game.
Indeed. Da-da-da.
Yep, even on the last level they include a star. And welcome to Crushy Crushy. This time the crushing things don't have faces, as they did in Miserable's Castle. And to be fair, I find this is very reminiscent of Miserable's Castle. And the gargoyles kind of make sense here. And yes, I go and chuck the key into the acid. And have to go and retrieve another one.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I forgot.
Keys are immortal.
Well, here's the thing. The key... if you jump and throw an object but you're not moving, you won't chuck it, as is most, I suppose, more modern games kind of do. You do just basically drop it in front of you.
Which can be handy.
Yes, though usually you can stand still to do it. But anyway,
Another key.
you will need that coming back. One thing to note is when you come in and out of an area, everything resets. This includes locked doors.
So we need that to get back out.
Yep. But as for what this switch does, this switch is a little different. But you won't actually see what it does, and yeah, move out of the way, otherwise squished mouse.
Smash, yes.
Yeah, that is a little sneaky. They do give you warning, obviously, because you have to go through the door first, but still a bit cheeky. Anyway, key! And notice, no more toxic gunky stuff. However, before we go through that, I wanted to pick up this. And through it we dive. Now, when you've got hold of an item, you can't swim. But, oh look. Now, this bit did confuse me originally. But it's not too bad, but you still got a little bit of figuring out what to do. That door will actually take you back to the beginning of this section. So
why exactly is everything mirrored now?
I'm going to go with the toxic gunk. Basically had a magic mirror at the bottom of it, and then the magic mirror made us... I don't know. But we need to get in that door, and obviously we haven't got anything to stand on to get in the door. So we need to make a platform, and for that we need to press the switch again. And switch everything round. Thankfully the switch is in the up position, so all we have to do is push it back down. Or in this case, smash our head into it. But unfortunately that also releases all these giant metal balls. So
Indeed. Can you walk through the chain section when
I never tried it.
it's I'm just wondering.
I'm not sure. But in this case it's too small for you to do that anyway, so. And that key, I believe, is for if you somehow manage to alter the switches and then come back. Actually, you know saying about the mimics?
A door mimic.
Yeah. Now, I had to remember how to do this part originally, but there's a very clever thing they do with this bit. Now, unfortunately, I also forget that the door comes back to life if you go off screen. So, dead Mickey.
No.
No.
He's dead again, yeah.
Yep. Thankfully, this switch...
The freeze frame on the door's expression was quite good as well.
Thankfully, I've managed to hit the checkpoint just right there, so... But yes, when you go through the door, you come out into a parallel version of it. Now, that other door, at the moment, will take you back to the beginning of the previous start part of the level. So... what we want to do is hit that switch through the wall. How do we get to that switch on the other side of the wall? Well, you may have noticed that we came out in the same position this door left us. So, we're going to get the door to come all the way over to the other side of the level. And then we're going to murder it. Which...
Come here, teleporting door.
Yep. Transports us to the other side. And then for some reason we can walk through that side of it, but we can't walk through the other side. Hooray, one-way platforms.
One-way door.
Yeah, something like that.
It's illusion, it's magic, it's just the excuse.
It changes where this door goes, and this door now goes into a pool.
A rotating platform.
Yeah, that's just to make sure you don't try and go back through the door, I think. But yes, unfortunately we now have to swim through this, and there are no air pockets in this, so you have to get through as quick as you can. That saying, it's not that long an area, so it's not too difficult. And unfortunately, I missed my chance to be able to get that treasure chest. Never mind. But yes, welcome to the Phantom.
And the Phantom is a recoloured version of the Horned King from the Black Cauldron.
Ah, now I remember you saying something about that. Now, oddly, his first phase is actually the most difficult. Those fireballs are nigh on near impossible to dodge. But, again, you know, Mickey's bottom power is what in the end will save the day. So, you can bounce on his tornado-y form, but it won't damage him. The only damage you'll do is when he's basically standing still without his arms outfolded. But he only has 2 hits in each of his forms, so not too bad. So now he goes on to the ceiling, so you can't butt bounce him. So, you know, he's actually an intelligent boss. Unfortunately, he then also makes the mistake of chucking stuff at you, which you can then pick up and throw back in his face.
I am angry.
Well, you know, I suppose I can't blame him for being angry. I mean, I am throwing rocks in his face now.
It's weird because this is obviously the boss, but Miserabel was redeemable, and I somehow doubt this Phantom is.
No, not really, but yes, final phase, he starts doing a spin dash and summoning lightning around him so you can't actually attack him. Or you get penalised for trying to attack him anyway. I have no idea where the spin dash thing comes from. I think it's just to make him more difficult to avoid, kind of. And he gets a couple more hits in this stage, I think. I think you have to hit him 3 times rather than 2, maybe 4. And yeah, you need to make sure you react quick, otherwise you'll get caught in the middle of lightning. And at the moment, I can't take that.
With 1 life left.
Nope. But, you know, there he goes. And crystal time.
You gain the magic crystal.
Yep. You don't see the world get saved, you just see Mickey getting a kiss off Minnie.
Did you he was just whispering in his ear that not a chance?
Yeah.
Anyway, here's the cast in case you didn't realise who they were. This is Mickey Mouse. You've been playing as him for the last goodness knows how long.
Not that long.
There's Daisy Duck. She got you into this mess in the first place.
The game's not that long. I suppose when you're a kid it's harder and it is aimed at children, so... But yes, that is...
King Donald.
That is the Land of Illusion. Horace Horsecollar. No one remembers him anymore.
No one remembers him. Look there, look how any of those other ones. It's all Goofy's fault.
Don't blame Goofy. Goofy was a good replacement.
Goofy's awesome.
Goofy is awesome. Yes, now you get to watch the credits. But, you know, I'm happy for the credits to roll because these guys did a good job on it. They really did. Now, this is one of my childhood favourite games. This is the one I remember more than Castle of Illusion because I played it more.
Message screen programmer.
I'm guessing that's the quote cutscenes end quote, which I suppose for the Master System was vaguely advanced-ish. I don't know. But, you know, as I said, the game's not the most amazing thing in the world, but it is a nice little, jolly little playthrough. Of course, we've got a new version of the Illusion series, Castle of Illusion HD remake for Xbox Live, PS3, and PC in some form.
Indeed.
So I will be let's playing that definitely, and I will probably do it blind and maybe live. We'll see.
Indeed. How much of it is a remake, and how much is a reimagine? I think they've used the dreaded word reimagining.
Well, what I'm hoping that means is they've kind of, because as we had originally discussed, I wasn't sure which was the kind of superior version. Yes, there we go. That is where it shows how many power stars you got. We got
Bang,
every
100%.
single one. And we have a final high score, which when you turn the console off doesn't save, so...
So yes, over 1.25 million. Nicky wakes up with lipstick on his cheek, wondering what the hell happened.
Nah, he doesn't seem particularly bothered. He seems fairly happy. So yes, and that is the end. That's your lot. Until, of course, the next game, because, of course, there is still 2 games in the Illusion series.
Which one will we see next? Tune in next time to find out.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye-bye, guys.